Hello, my name is Coralie Charbonneau, and this is my family's story. Our daughter Aubrey was a very good baby, almost too good in fact. She slept 12 hours a night, never fussed, never wanted to be held, always very happy. So everything seemed normal. But a friend of mine was concerned about Ombree, that she didn't seem to be responding normally. And I started to realize that my friend was right. So we went in, and basically within, I would say 40 minutes, the doctor started to talk to us about autism and the different levels of autism and different things. We were sort of blindsided, and we were very concerned because we were expecting another child at the time. Aubrey had just started daycare. They had recommended that we put her in daycare. This threw Aubrey. She started huge tantrums, banging her head on the wall, even cracked the drywall in our living room. Then she stopped sleeping, and she woke up every night. She'd maybe sleep an hour, and this banging would start. And again, you'd have to go in and try to hold her down and try to stop her, and it got really, really bad. I remember sitting in the corner crying, thinking, how are we ever going to survive this? The balance of having a family, and particularly an individual with additional needs, can get extremely overwhelming. You always feel like you're being pulled in every direction, and you don't want to leave anyone out. We always wanted to make sure that they didn't feel that all our focus was on Aubrey. At times, I mean, you struggle. You have deadlines, you have things, you try to just focus on one thing at a time. I think that's all you can do. I noticed working on the computer that some days I couldn't focus properly. And being a general manager, some days you're on the computer all day, other days you're not on it at all. But the days I was, after a couple of hours, I couldn't. I was kind of seeing double out of one eye and just some kind of odd things. So I thought, oh, I need glasses. So I went to an appointment, and he came in, and the first thing out of his mouth was, I see something I don't like. He asked me if I had any plans that weekend, and I said, actually, yeah, I was going away with a couple of girlfriends. And he says, well, I hate to tell you, Coralie, but I don't think you will be. I think you have a tumor in your eye. And he said, I need to get you seen now because of your age. And he says, from what I can see, it's quite large. I thought to myself, this isn't good, because I'm not getting from buying glasses on Wednesday to specialists on Monday. Basically, the doctor told me that I had a rare form of eye cancer and it couldn't be treated in Manitoba. He said, I don't know the extent of what they'll do till you get out there, but he said, we're going to get you out there quickly because the tumor isn't small. Yeah. I walked out, and the big glass doors that you opened, they opened up, and it just hit me. What about Aubrey? And what about my kids? Like, what's going to happen? And I went out to the bench in front of the hospital, and I must have sat there for 2 hours, looking up at the sky and thinking to myself, if I live through this, I've got to figure out all my kids, and I've got to figure out what's going to happen to Aubrey. So at that point, we put in the application. A spot came up quite quickly. I asked if we could come out to the house a few times and see how she fits in with roommates, and everyone was in agreement. My mom had a friend in the city, and when we'd come into the city, we would go to her house and visit, and that house was directly across the street from the house that Pulford had sent me to. I had lost my mother to cancer at 18 years old. I looked up, and I was in utter shock, and I looked at Claude and I said, so my mom's trying to tell me something. As a parent, it's hard to let go. When something's been basically the hardest part in your life, but the thing you're the most committed to, I think it was a hard decision to make. My daughter said to me, Mom, I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason not to do this is because you don't want to. And that was in 2015, in March, Aubrey moved in with Pulford. She lives a life pretty much like anyone else, except she has supports to help her. It's a pretty normal house. When you go in there and you look around, it's like a home. She does do a lot of things independently now and does more of her, helps fold her laundry and things that she never done before. She likes baking and cooking, stirring things, and she's very happy to see us, but just as happy to go home. I can honestly say I don't worry anymore. What will happen to Ombree? I know it's taken care of, and our other children can take it from here if something happened to us, which is a big relief. I think these homes are so important for families, and I'm also so grateful when having an illness come up out of the blue that I had the opportunity to work with Pulford. We're 8 years in, and she's very happy. As a parent, I drive away from the house now, and I no longer